guys, I'm going to be talking about tarpon fishing today and what to use and when to use it and just different types of baits. And that's basically it. Hey guys, so I am going to be using my phone today because I have done a lot of research and I have it written down in my notes, so I am going to be using that. But for tarpon, using live bait, you want at least the 8,000 reel. You want to be able to hold it like at least somewhere around 300 yards of 50-pound braid, which is going to be the safest bet. So that's what I have on mine. It's Power Pro. I personally think Power Pro is the best, but you may use something different. And use the Power Pro, and then you would tie a 5-foot leader of monofilament, 50 pounds. And the reason you need monofilament is because braid has practically no stretch. If the fish is going to take it and it's not going to let go of it, you need a good amount of stretch in there. So that's why you're going to have 6 foot of 50-pound monofilament to give you that stretch in there. And I tie an FG knot to the from the braid to the monofilament. And then from that, if you're freelining it, freelining live bait, you want a 80 to 100-pound fluorocarbon leader. And you want to tie about 3 foot of that onto it. And if you're just straight lining it, you want to tie, I usually tie a double uni knot to tie those together. And then I use a 7/0 hook, which I mean is pretty big, but you're going to need it for a 200-pound tarpon. And that's if you're freelining it. If you're not freelining it, you're going to want to tie the mono, and I use a uni knot for both ends. Tie the mono to a pretty nice size swivel, but make sure you use a sinker weight from on the braid, so this stops it. I mean on the mono, so this stops it. And then tie the fluorocarbon leader, the 80 to 100-pound fluorocarbon leader, on the other side with, again, the same 7/0 hook, or size 7 hook. The best bait to use is going to be mullet, menhaden, pinfish, and basically you want to use like, you know, like a Snicker bar, That's basically the size of live bait you want to use. The best hooks to use are a Snell hook or a Daiichi 7/0 hooks. And you can also tie, again, a weighted cork. Well, not even a weighted cork, just a big old cork like this to the mono, and you can do the live bait that way, or you can just do it like naked, like I was talking about earlier with the no weighted, or you can use a weighted. But instead of using this big old cork, you can use a balloon instead. And okay, so for artificial bait, I do not currently have these, but a pink hoagie with a 5/0 hook through the nose. You could probably look those up. I know you can get them at Charleston Angler if you live around me. And another thing you can use is a DOA bait buster, but you want to get the deep running one, and you want to get the root beer color. And how you retrieve it is you don't jig or anything. No twitching, no nothing else. Just straight reel. That's all you gotta do. And the place around me in Charleston to catch the best tarpon is around Bulls Bay, Sullivan's Island, and also Stono Inlet is good for tarpon, and that's a good place to get bait too. Debo Bank, Bulls Island. Sometimes you can fish near grass, and you can find like rips, like rip currents, off of like the tips of land, and that's a really good spot. Also, you can find a drop off, and like where the drop off starts, you can find rips there. And then the best time to catch it is when the tide is moving. It cannot be still. It's got to be moving. And the best is to catch it when the tide's coming in. Also, if you live around me, the top end of the South Jetty is good. And at the end of August, there's northeast winds where mullet migrate down beaches to the south. So that's a really good time. Best water depth is probably 4 to 6 foot. Rod and reel setup is just 12 to 25 pound rod, again as I said earlier, 50-pound braid. Good rod capacity is again 250 to 300 pounds. 250 to 300 yards of 50-pound braid. Some good rods. Some good reels that are pretty good prices. Is Bait Runners, Terramar, or like Stella. Those are pretty good. For once you get hooked up for fighting the tarpon, you don't really want to move around a lot. I know you see people chasing them and stuff. Well, the best thing to do is stay anchored if you can, because if not, if you don't stay anchored, so this is you, and this is the fish. You're just going to keep on floating with the tide. Keep on floating with the tide. You're not going to get any distance on them. So, also, handling the tarpon, you want to make sure you give him a good release. Make sure he gets enough air. Water. Try not to take him out of the water. It harms them. Also, whenever you're going to get him up, don't ever grab the leader, because it could be barely holding mom. Grab the fish. The drag is not that tight. You shouldn't have that tight on braid. But how you want to hook? You want to hook mullet through the top of the mouth. You want to hook pinfish through like the back. You want to hook menhaden through the nose. Again, fish on incoming tides. On outgoing tides, you can catch live bait. You can catch like other fish, like reds and stuff. But they're actually nocturnal tarpon are. So another good time to fish for them is early morning or late at night. But that's basically it for today. So hope y'all learned something. Bye.